Welcome back to Elevation 44. I'm B for those of you who are new, welcome to the channel. And if you're returning, welcome back, family. So today I am kicking off a new series, and this series is all about how to work with moon energy. I've noticed that a lot of people are being called to work with moon energy in general, as we are, getting more in tune with ourselves and coming back home to who we are. This is definitely a major thing that is popping up. A lot of people want to know how to work with moon energy. And I know every month I provide, guidance on the new moons and the full moons, but I wanted to provide something that was timeless information that didn't necessarily tie to any corresponding transits or any particular signs. I wanted to make sure that you had a resource to come back to, again and again, no matter what was happening, to have like a basis of how to work with the different phases of the moon, because each phase of the moon is very important. I know that we primarily focus here on new moon and full moon energy, but I want to make sure that you understand all the different phases of the moon and how to work with this energy, okay? So that is what we're gonna get into today. We're gonna be kicking off this series with the first video, where we're going to be talking about the dark moon and the new moon, right? And they're used interchangeably. They're kind of one and the same, but the energy is slightly different, and I want to point out some differences with that. Okay, so this is going to kick off the series of the 8 different moon phases. I think this is going to be 4 videos total, because I'm going to kind of bundle some of the phases together, and we're going to go through that in later videos. But let's just go ahead and talk about why you're being called to work with moon energy at this particular juncture in your life. Why are you being, pulled or called to do moon rituals, to slow down at the full moon to express your gratitude, or at the new moon to set intentions, or to pick a different trajectory or cleanse out different energies. So we're just going to be talking about that for a second before we even dive into more of what the new moon, the dark moon phase is all about. Okay. So the moon is definitely a calendar of sorts for us, okay? So the ancient civilizations, they use the moon as a calendar to just map out a whole bunch of things. They looked at it to keep track of seasons, to keep track of when it was a time to be active and when it was a time to rest. And we were actually following this moon cycle as our primary calendar up until, the Gregorian period, the Julian period, where the calendar started to switch and change to what we have now, which is the Gregorian calendar. And so it no longer follows the moon cycle, but for a very long time, the calendar system prior to that was primarily, set around the moon cycles, okay? So this is a natural calendar for us. And now we're starting to come back into alignment with the natural order of things, okay? So the moon controls the rhythms of the earth, and that's why it is our natural calendar, okay? So has been scientifically proven that the moon controls the water sources, or has major influence on the water sources here on earth. And the earth is made up of 70% water, or 71% to be exact. And our human body is made up of 60% water, okay? With the heart and the brain being made up 73% water, okay? So the influence that the moon has on the earth and its water sources, the tides, the oceans, everything here, why wouldn't it have that same effect on us? We're here on earth, we're a part of earth, we're primarily made up of water. So those energies are going to influence us as well. So that's why you may be feeling certain things during the full moon, or during your new moon, or during different cycles of the moon, because the phases of the moon, as it's having that impact on earth, it's also having that impact on us, okay? So that is why, a lot of people are, they talk about how times of the full moon, people tend to act a little bit, crazy or out there, or, things just happen that are heightened, right? Because that the energy of the full moon is high, and that is a time where things are heightened and internally, emotion-wise, and everything like that, because of that moon's gravitational, pull and force on us as individuals, as well as on the earth. Okay, so I hope that makes sense to you. As we're coming back to source, as we're coming back to ourselves and getting back into total alignment, we're coming back into the natural order and cycles of life. And that's why we're being called and we're being pulled in this direction to work with moon energy, or feeling a lot more of this influence around the different moon cycles, okay? So we are syncing with the natural order of things. We are coming back to source. We are coming home. We are coming in total alignment so that we can operate in our full power. I know that people say the moon is not what you think it is. It could be, for some people, seen as an observation center, as something to control us down here on Earth. I'm not negating any of those statements or opinions. I have my own opinions about what the moon could or could not be, but the basis of this information is to tell you that whether or not it is those things or not, it is having an influence here on Earth. And so with it having an influence here on Earth, and with it having an influence on us individually, having that pull with us individually, whether we think about it in one way or another, it's still having that influence. And so we still have to work with this, and we have to learn how to work with this energy in order to use it to our best advantage, okay? So that is kind of like the overview of like why you may be being called to work with moon energy at this particular time, and the significance of that. So now that we've covered that, let's just kind of get into more of the dark and the new moon energy. And so let's start off with the dark moon, okay? So the dark moon is used, the term dark moon and new moon are used interchangeably, but there is a slight difference in the way that you work with the energy of the dark moon and the new moon, okay? So the dark moon is considered when the moon is at 0% illumination. So it is totally dark. There is no light being reflected on it. And the thing about the moon is it does not emit its own light. It reflects the light of the sun, okay? So when the new moon or the dark moon is happening, the dark moon is literally at 0% illumination. So this is a very, very short phase. It's not a very long phase. It's really, really quick, okay? Because that 0% illumination changes quickly, because once we move into that 1%, and the light is starting to grow on the moon, that's more of the new moon phase. That's when the new light is coming in, okay? So this dark moon phase, that 0% illumination, like I said, it's very brief, but this is more highlighting the ending of the previous cycle, okay? And this is what marks a time for rest, discovery, like inner discovery, and resetting things, okay? Because this is ending that previous cycle, so that when that new moon energy comes in, when we move from that 0 to that 1%, and that new light and that new energy is coming in, we have pretty much closed out that old cycle, okay? So this is a prime time for clearing out that old energy to make way for the new energy. It's a time for shadow work, or that inner work, so that inner reflection, that discovery. What did I learn in the previous cycle? What are the things that come up? What are the things that I need to work on? What kind of intentions do I need to set going forward into the new moon cycle? And to start off or kick off my my new energy or my new cycle, or the new things that are going to come out in this next round, okay? So that is literally like the difference with really that dark moon aspect within the whole new moon phase, okay? The new moon is when the moon, again, moves from that 0% into that 1% illumination. So this is when the moon is still dark, and we can't really see anything being reflected here at 1%. You can't see anything. So the moon still looks very dark to us, and it almost looks like it's still at that 0% illumination, but it is growing in light, okay? So this is when the beginning of a new cycle is starting. This is when that new energy is coming in, okay? Now, this is the most fertile time in the moon cycle for planting new seeds, aka new intentions, okay? So this is, I always say this is equivalent, if we're thinking about seasons, this is equivalent to the spring season where you would plant your new, your new seeds, put your new seeds in the ground, your new crops in the ground so that you can, allow them to grow and then harvest them at peak later on in another season, right? So this is about planting new seeds, setting your new intentions, your new plans, your new goals, your new visions, right? So this is the most important part of your manifestation process because this is the start of the manifestation process. If you don't start here, there is no manifestation, right? If you don't start with the setting the intentions part, okay? So this is the best time to initiate new things, all kinds of new things, new, relationships, jobs, new energy, bringing in new energy or material items, whatever you want to focus on. This is the time to initiate new things. This is also a great time to renew things, like things that were initiated previously, having a renewal or a boost on that. This is also a good energy to use for that, okay? This energy is new and fresh and it starts to build, okay? So this is all about the starting phase. This is, if we think about it in terms of when we talk about energy and we talk about our different zodiac signs, the cardinal energies, which are the initiators, the starters, the ones that kick off the cycle, that is this energy, okay? Now, some of the things that we can focus on, the key things that we can focus on during the time of a new moon, no matter when it's happening, is increasing like your wealth or your abundance or your resources, building or boosting your confidence to conquer change, calling in new like material possessions, like a new home or anything like that. Cleansing a new space, and this is more of like a, an energetic thing, is like cleansing out the old energies of a new place or a new thing that you have in your life. Finding inspiration and attracting new relationships, okay? Now, one of the key things that I, said that this new moon energy is best utilized for is setting intentions. And intentions are just your plans, like I said, your goals, your vision. It's, what you're about to do, what you're about to, what you want to happen in your particular life. So the thing about setting intentions, the first thing is you need to be identifying your desire. Like, what are your desires? What do you want to do? What do you want to have? What do you want to be? Those are the questions that you need to be asking yourself at this time to help you navigate and set your intentions properly, okay? Now, intentions always start in thought form before they're brought into the physical realm, okay? So they're always birthed on a spiritual or an energetic level in a thought form before you're actually able to make it happen in physical form, okay? They are then followed by action in the next phases of the moon cycle. And we're gonna get into that into the later videos, and you're gonna see how all of the cycles or the phases of the moon work together to kind of like see this thing through beginning to completion, whatever that may be for you at a particular time, okay? So what I want to also say is intentions are not a wish list, okay? They are statements that affirm the thoughts to make it a reality, okay? So these are your I have, I will, I intend, and I am statements. It is already so. It is already so mentally, because remember we just said everything starts, the physical manifestation always starts in thought form, okay? So it is always your thoughts. The energy starts first there before it comes into physical form. So you have to be mentally already in that space of it is. You're experiencing it mentally. It already is so. And that is how you manifest. That is the key to manifestation, okay? So your intent, right, powers the manifestation. It really is the intent, your energy behind it, that powers the actual physical manifestation. So the steps of what you would use to bring in or set your intention is first to write them out. It's always best to journal, to write it out. to actually put down exactly what it is that you are calling in, what you have, what you will, what you intend, what you are, right? Those statements in writing. The second step is to say them out loud, to actually verbally speak it into existence. Words are spells. Words have power. Words are like literally so powerful that people underestimate what the power of a word can do, right? And so you want to be speaking, not just writing your intentions, you also want to be speaking them out loud and literally birthing them that way. Then you also want to finally meditate and hold that energy and thought form as it is. It already is so. You're just waiting for the physical manifestation of it to show up, okay? So that is really the steps or what you would do to actually set your intention to bring them in, okay? Now, it's best to do this in a dedicated sacred space, because this space, a sacred space, is nothing more than a place where you go to, work your magic, okay? And, when you have a dedicated sacred space, where you are working your energy and you're working your magic, that space is holding an energy, okay? So when you're getting into that space to set your intentions, to do, your rituals, to do whatever you need to do, the magic that has built there and is holding there is going to also help power up everything that you do. So even though it is not necessary to have a sacred space, it is best done in a sacred space environment to really help you, take your stuff up to the next level. So let's just talk about really quickly some of the tools that you can use to work with the new moon, no matter what time the new moon is happening. The first thing that I'm going to talk about are some crystals. Now, the first crystal I would recommend always working with during a new moon is selenite, okay? And selenite is great because we talk about that cleansing aspect, because it's that new energy that we're bringing in. So we're clearing out the old energies, and we're allowing and attracting new energy to come in. So selenite is great for clearing out that stagnant energy and getting ready for the new cycle. And also it's great for connecting to the higher realms. And I actually am holding a piece of selenite because this you'll see a lot of oracles or a lot of tarot readers or intuitives working with selenite, because it actually helps you to channel messages from the higher realms, okay? So that is definitely a crystal that I would definitely recommend using during any new moon. Another one is clear quartz, and clear quartz just helps amplify energy, okay? It is a powerful, powerful amplifier of energy. And clear quartz, when we're talking about calling in new things and we're talking about maybe needing to boost our confidence or whatever, or power up certain things, amplifying that energy of the new is going to give it that great push, that great start in whatever direction that we're going, okay? So that is definitely another crystal that you could work with for any new moon. And then the other one is moonstone, and moonstone is a crystal that can be used with the moon in all its phases, okay? Not just the new or dark moon, but in all its phases, okay? And this moonstone is kind of self-explanatory. It's really connected to that lunar energy, but it's also to help you tap into your intuition, and it just helps you get connected with self in that way, okay? And that's going to be important, especially as you're setting intentions. Some of the herbs, oils, or other things, earth elements that I would recommend during the new moon are ginger. And ginger is great because it is that boost, it's that vitality, it's that jump start of energy. And when we're talking about that new moon and bringing in that new energy, ginger is definitely great for that. Another is thyme, and thyme is just a great mood booster, but it's also great for protection, okay? Citrus, oils, citrus of any kind is another great energy booster or mood booster. We have cedarwood, which is great for attraction because we're trying to pull things in, we're trying to attract new things during this cycle, so that is helpful for that. And then Himalayan salt. is great. Salt is a great cleanser. So having Himalayan salt to cleanse out those old, energies and different things like that is definitely helpful to use. Now, if you've seen my previous videos, I've done a video all about, using candles to manifest and to, bring in new things. And I wanted to go ahead and talk about some of the candles or candle colors that you can use with the new moon that's great to use at this time. If you have not seen that video, I'm gonna go ahead and link it here in this video so you can check that out. But here are some of the different candles that are candle colors that you would use during this particular phase of the moon. The first is a green candle, which would be great for attracting wealth, resources, and abundance, okay? Red candles for passion, energy, and courage, for starting those new initiatives, those new projects. Yellow, which is great for manifesting your thoughts. Orange or gold, which is great for boosting energy or gaining energy and also attracting things to you. White, which is good for that cleansing aspect and resetting. And then black, which is great for that shadow work and that protection if you are working particularly with that dark moon energy and going into like that discovery and that shadow work phase, okay? So that is pretty much it for the new moon and dark moon phase of the moon cycle. So stay tuned for the second video, and we're gonna go into the next phase of the moon. And I really hope that you like this. Again, this is intended to be timeless information that you can use at any particular junction or any particular point to even craft your own or navigate your own rituals or ways to set intentions or to work with lunar energy, okay? So let me know down in the comments below if you found this helpful. If you did, also give me a thumbs up. And subscribe if you haven't at this time, because like I said, I have a lot more videos coming that you want to be able to kind of follow this moon cycle to the end and see how this all works together, okay? So I will see you all very soon. Peace.